Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm really glad you're here and you're spending a few minutes of your day with me, and I hope wherever you are that you're happy, healthy, and staying safe. So I thought I'd start today's video by following up on my doctor's appointment yesterday and just talk about that a little bit. And he put me through pretty what I felt like was a pretty strenuous evaluation. So much so that it did aggravate my injury a bit. So it was uncomfortable last night, and it's hurting me a bit today as well, more than it has been. So just to give you kind of an idea, of course, he did everything first on my good leg, and I think that was probably just to set a baseline. And then he worked on my left one, my bad one. And one of the assessment tools that he used to evaluate my hip injury was to basically have me bend my knee so that my leg was in a 90-degree angle so that I was making a figure 4. And then he pushed that down so that it was pretty much level with the examination table, and that really lit up my hip. Oh my goodness. And it still hurt me. It still hurt me from that today. Now, it was hurting already, but now it's hurting even a bit more so. So I'm really looking forward to when that calms down a little bit more, because it is a bit, like I said, uncomfortable. The good news was, if there is good news, is that he said that, my training on my stationary bike is fine. He didn't see any problems with me doing that at all. So I'm going to continue on with what I have been doing. The next step for me is to get an MRI done. As I mentioned in my video when I talked about the assessment and evaluation with my doctor, and that's going to be on Friday. So that's coming Friday, just a couple days away. I'm going to go in and get that done, and then I have a follow-up appointment with my physician on Tuesday to go over those results, and that's going to tell us a lot more. It hopefully will highlight whether or not it is, in fact, a stress fracture. And that's what he's thinking that it is. That's his initial assessment, was I have a stress fracture somewhere in that hip area. And he wants to go look for it with the MRI. So that's what we're going to do. Now, if it's, if it doesn't show that, a couple things that he mentioned is, number one, it doesn't mean that it isn't there, because MRIs aren't always perfect. But also it could be a soft tissue issue of some sort. So hopefully we'll get some answers, but not until Tuesday. Friday, I'll take you along with me for the MRI experience. And, it's always good to have you guys along with me, because it helps to reduce my anxiety a little to talk to you guys on my way into these types of doctor's appointments. I don't feel like I'm alone in the process. So, and thank you to everybody who commented on my last video about this whole thing that's happening injury-wise, and sharing your stories, both of your injuries and your triumph over those injuries. So I found it really inspirational, motivational, and offered a lot of encouragement to me that it might feel a little bit dark right now, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and we'll get there. And for once, maybe it's not a train that's coming at us, because that's what I always feel like. If I see a light at the end of the tunnel, more times than not, I feel like it's just a train coming at me. But I think in this case, that's not it. I do, in fact, think that, better days are ahead. So Boston is off the table, unfortunately. I'm not planning to run the Boston Marathon this year, but that just means I'm going to set another goal. That's okay. I got other fitness goals, ahead of me, other marathons to run, a lot more marathons in me to go. So, this is just one stop on the journey that we're taking together. So, all right, guys. So today I am going to do my workout, and it does call for some intervals. So it's going to be a HIIT style of training on my stationary bike. So the format, as I read it off my tablet here, is I'm going to warm up for 10 minutes. So I'm going to go pretty easy, and then I'm going to pick up the pace for 5 minutes. Now, it says to go at threshold, as long as it's not aggravating my hip. If it is, I'll be frank, I'm just going to stop and not do it. But, I'm going to attempt it, because I was told that as long as it's not bothering me, that there's no reason that I can't train on my bike. So that's what I'm going to do. So the goal though is to, again, warm up for 10 minutes, go 5 minutes at threshold, have a minute to recover, repeat that 6 times. So we got 30 minutes in the pain cave. Hopefully it's not a pain cave, just a term there. And then 10 minutes to cool down. So if I add it all together, it should be roughly about 56 minutes in total for the workout. So basically an hour, which, you know, most of these are. Okay, so let's just do it. Let's get into it, and we'll get this one done. All right, you guys. Onward and upward. All right, so I'm in that 10-minute warm-up. Got a few more minutes to go at this rate, so got the resistance pretty low. Turning my legs over pretty quickly. Just kind of looking ahead. You know, we've only got, I don't know, less than 2 weeks remaining in this training block, so I'm going to finish it out on my stationary bike. You know, even though I'm not going to be running the Boston Marathon this year, it doesn't mean that I should just stop training, because I do want to maintain my fitness. If nothing else, I'm building a really strong base for the next time that I am able to compete. So, you know, I feel like I'm still reaping the benefits, and you know, it can be deflating, and I'll be honest, it was pretty deflating yesterday to get the news that you know, I should set this one out. That's never anything that you want to hear, but I trust his opinion because he's not steered me wrong in the past. So but it doesn't mean, like I said, that all is lost or it was all for nothing, because, you know, I have been able to, you know, stay fit, and, you know, that's worth everything. Our health is everything. So as I said, you know, just means I get to pick a different goal, you know, and I'll keep the Boston dream alive again for another year. Okay, so just finished the third one, so I'm halfway through. So that's just a little over 27 minutes in. Oh, my legs is tired. My legs are getting tired. But we're halfway done. So, you know, I think it's going to be okay. We're going to push through, and we're going to get the most out of this one. Unfortunately, I can't talk long because I only have a minute. And now that's down to about 20 seconds. So I'm going to let you go so I can get a drink. All right, so I just finished with the last one, and kind of the theme for today was tired quads, but I got through. You know, and as I looked down at my heart rate, it did take a little while in those 5-minute intervals for it to rise back up, because during that 1-minute recovery, it was dropping down to, I don't know, 135 beats per minute. And it took about, I would say, 2 minutes for it to rise back up once I started, you know, pedaling harder to get into that, you know, mid 150 range that I was shooting for. So, you know, I think I got it done. The overall training effect, it's probably going to be somewhere between tempo and threshold, but we'll find that out at the end. I don't put too much stock in that. I mean, it's nice to see, but the reality is, I know how hard I was working. And I was working hard today, so I feel like I definitely honored the intent of the workout. So, all right, I got a few minutes left in the 10-minute cool down. Because I'm at 46 minutes, so I say a few minutes. I got 10 minutes to go. Well, I'm just going to spin my legs out nice and easy. And then we'll talk here in just a couple minutes where we'll take a look at the overall numbers together. Whew. All right, so another workout in the books. I felt like it was pretty solid today. Put forth pretty good effort. Again, I'm not sure exactly what the training effect will be, but that's okay. You know, I know from feel, as I mentioned a second ago, that you know, I put forth the kind of effort that I think it was calling for. And that's really all that we can do sometimes. You know, my quads are definitely tired, but on the upside, you know, I started with a really sore, you know, hip area, just because of that, you know, assessment evaluation I went through yesterday when they put it under some stress. And, you know, it's been hurting ever since. And while it still hurts just to kind of stand and walk around, when I was on my stationary bike pedaling, it didn't hurt. Didn't hurt at all. So, you know, I'm gonna take the blessings where I can find them or count them, and I'm counting that as definitely a blessing. I'm still able to ride my bike comfortably, still able to get a good solid workout in. So, you know, all is good. All is good. All right, you guys. So let's take a look at the numbers. 56 minutes in total. Went just a tad over 19 miles. 265 was the average power. 87 was my average cadence, or the RPMs, the rate at which I was turning my legs over. Whew. All right, so I'm going to go jump in the shower. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow is Nike's going to drop a few more of the Alpha Fly 3s on the market. So I'm still going to try to pick up a pair, because my running days are not over. They're just, in my humble opinion, they're just getting started, and it's only going to get better from here. So it's a fun journey to be on, and I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, there's a few bumps in the road for sure, and I hit a bump with this training block, but I think that overall it's just going to make me a better, stronger, and maybe a bit smarter runner in the future. So, all right, you guys, hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it for you. As always, run tall, run strong, be kind to one another. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Whew, tomorrow I think I've got some cross training. But the one thing my doctor did say, because I asked him a lot of questions about this, and you know, until we know more from the MRI, he just suggested that as long as I'm able to ride my bike, go ahead and do that, but don't start incorporating things like, you know, lifting heavy weights. You know, go ahead and just do the kinds of things I've been doing, as long as it's not putting, you know, extra stress on that hip area. Once we know more, you know, which will be Tuesday, then we can put together a better plan. I'm sure there will be some physical therapy. You know, I'll meet with some experts that can, you know, develop a plan, whatever is wrong, to make it better. And you know, at this point, I'm ready to do, you know, anything they tell me to do. So, all right, you guys. I hope you have a good one. And again, I'll see you tomorrow.